Hello and welcome to the Autocar show. Now, the mid-size saloon segment has always been the territory of the Honda City. Despite many attempts, Maruti Suzuki have never really tasted much success over here. However, we feel they have their strongest offering yet in the form of the Ciaz. Now, Honda have also strengthened their space in this segment by giving a diesel offering. However, it's the Petrol that's always been a favorite, and with Petrol making a comeback, today it's the battle of the Petrols. It's going to be a tough fight. Let's see which one wins. The Ciaz is a well-balanced car with good proportions, and there are some nice touches like the rising headlamps with the projector elements and the smart 16-inch rims. Around the rear, the design is pretty similar to the Honda City, with tail lamps and the boot looking almost the same. The boot capacity is also at an identical 510 litres. Other than those similarities, the Ciaz design comes across as safe and bland when compared to the City. The arrow-shot design of the City, the large chrome grille and the bold creases give it a much sportier and exciting look. The appeal continues on the inside. So it's a really nice interior on the City. There's a lot going on. You have like a plastic-like chrome finish. You have piano-like ivory black on the central console. But what's really nice are the AC controls. Gone are the manual dials. Everything is touch now. You can switch it on, off, adjust the fan or the temperature via touch. Makes it really nice and easy. Of course, you have the radio, you have your CD player, you have aux, and the central info display gives you all the information you want. You have all the controls on your steering wheel. There's cruise control as well. Dials have this really nice blue lighting around them, which just sort of lifts and adds to the interior. And of course, you have the sunroof. The thing is that there is an asymmetry to the dash that you either love or hate. And the plastics are all not the best quality either. Some of them come across as low rent in some areas. In comparison, the Ciaz's simple but uncluttered European dash is a little more pleasing to the eye, and the wood finish accents add a nice touch. Both cars are well kitted and offer almost everything you would expect from a car at this price point. The City and Ciaz both get leather on their seats and steering wheels, auto climate control, steering mounted audio and telephone controls, Bluetooth streaming, a reversing camera, rear defogger, keyless entry with push button start and electrically adjustable and foldable wing mirrors. Additionally, both cars pamper the rear passengers with rear AC vents and a center armrest with cup holders. However, whilst the City gets a reversing camera with a normal and wide view, it misses out on parking sensors. The Ciaz in comparison gets rear parking sensors but a single view reversing camera. The Ciaz gets height-adjustable front seat belts, projector headlamps and a rear sunshade with larger 16-inch alloys and fatter 195 section tires. Whilst the City gets skinnier 175 tires and 15-inch wheels, it scores over the Ciaz with a color screen, sunroof and cruise control. For safety, both cars get dual front airbags and ABS. So far, it's pretty similar and neck to neck, but under the hood, there is a difference. The City gets a 1.5-litre 117 bhp motor, whereas the Ciaz gets a 1.4-litre 91 bhp motor. Now, when you drive the two cars back to back, the difference in performance is instantly noticeable. The City's engine feels much better off the mark. It's more responsive overall. And it's got a far more flexible range. So, wherever you put your foot down, it's always ready to serve up the power. And overall, it's definitely the more enthusiastic engine. The Ciaz's engine too feels good in slow-moving urban conditions, though it's not as quick off the mark as the City. However, the engine is best at ambling around and it doesn't really like to be pushed. The Ciaz's engine gives its best between 2,500 and 5,000 RPM. So when you're out on open roads, it's really the City that has an advantage. And even as far as outright acceleration goes, the City is a clear winner. It's a good 2 seconds faster than the Ciaz to the 100 mark. Whilst the City's engine feels smoother and more refined, the Ciaz's cabin is better insulated to outside sounds, making it the more silent one. The Ciaz has the smoother gearbox, but the clutch is heavier than the City. The City steering is light and easy, and It makes it very maneuverable in the city traffic and for parking. But when you're going around corners or out on a highway like I am now, it weighs up pretty well. And whilst the Ciaz lets you feel confident when you're cornering, the city sort of just edges out ahead with the body control. It's very flat, it's very composed, and that makes you feel extremely secure. However, the skinny tires do let it down a bit. On the other hand, the Ciaz's steering is a bit heavier in slower conditions, but as you pick up the speed, it really doesn't weigh up that well, and it has an inconsistency which doesn't inspire confidence. However, where it loses out in handling, it gains on passenger comfort. So the Ciaz is the more spacious of the two back seats, and it definitely feels roomy here. Even the seat bench is quite flat, so a third person will be comfortable. But what is really exceptional is the ride quality. It flattens out all the bumps and potholes, and it has the soft, pliant edge to it, which keeps you comfortable at all times. The suspension works away quietly too, and at higher speeds it feels the more composed and solid car. The city, in contrast, tends to pitch a bit more, and the suspension does get caught out by sharper bumps. The ride comes across as a little firmer too. But the differences are not big enough to make you uncomfortable. On its own, the city's backseat is a good place to be. Well, differences, you have an extra power outlet here at the back of the city. On space, I think it's pretty close. You have good enough legroom over here. Bench is wide enough for 3 people, so I don't think there's that much difference. You're going to be as comfortable, but what does make the difference to the comfort really is the seat. This one just has softer cushioning. It holds you much better, and I think long journeys are definitely going to be happier ones in the city. On the warranty front, both Maruti and Honda offer a 2-year 40,000 km warranty, and you can always opt for extended programs. Well, I can tell you this battle was really close. However, the city still edges out ahead. And it may be the one that's more expensive, but it does offer you more as well. It gives you better performance, the engine's more drivable, it's more fun, it's more refined. It's the car that's more comfortable to sit in, especially on long journeys. It offers you that little bit of extra equipment, and at the end of the day, it's the one that feels more exciting. In comparison, the Ciaz, though it's put up a great battle and come really close, feels a little bland, and it's still the city that remains our choice.